Thailand, the backpacking and cultural capital of the world. With around 1 million Brits visiting every year,
Hi, Mum.
the country has a lot to offer party-loving tourists. But sometimes paradise comes at a cost. Because compared to any other country in the world, Brits travelling abroad are most likely to get arrested, end up in hospital,
This person could be a big trouble.
or worse. But in Thailand, there's a specialist tourist police force whose job it is to keep them safe.
We try to make everything good for tourists. Goodbye, good day.
Because here, trouble comes in all shapes and sizes. Drink,
Your hotel?
I
thefts,
think it just was robbery.
and the country's infamous sex industry.
That was the lady boy on fire.
But 2,000 tourist police officers and an army of sidekick volunteers from over 50 different countries
Come.
are there to save the day.
Many times the tourists drinking too much to hang out. We come here for protect tourists.
Welcome to Thailand.
Tonight, the tourist police crack down on suspicious holidaymakers and drug dealers in Pattaya,
It's similar to the methamphetamine.
where anyone found guilty could be sentenced to death.
This person could be a big trouble.
A tourist is held at Phuket Airport following a serious motorbike crash.
Just stranded me here. They kept me hostage. And I just want to go home. I don't care what it takes.
And a holidaymaker fears for his life after a run-in with a local ladyboy.
We tell you, give me 5,000 now.
Thailand, the land of smiles for 1 million British tourists every year. With 12 months of sun, sea and sex, it's one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. But every so often, an escape to paradise turns into the holiday from hell. It's 11 p.m. on Walking Street in Pattaya, a notorious tourist hotspot and home to one of Thailand's red light districts.
Oi, we fucked her!
With 13 million tourists visiting this sin city by the sea every year, Pattaya is a big attraction to people on the hunt for a good time.
Now it's time for the go-go bar.
Tonight, Officer Seed is leading an operation to clamp down on the problem of the city's illegal drugs.
You search it.
I'm looking for a drug dealer or a drug user. In Thailand, we have the law very strict. If we compare with the Europe, they will get very big punishment. If I arrest someone with a drug tonight, they will go to the prison.
After just 10 minutes, Seed and his team identify someone acting suspiciously.
โอเค ดูมือพี่ไม่มีอะไรนะตอมหมก This guy has been arrested in the drug taker.
Seed's training means he can spot a potential wrongdoer from amongst hundreds of partygoers and members of the public.
The personality for the people who have a drug or the people who use a drug is quite different with normal people. The body is very thin. They try to hide themselves all the time. Right? Normally, they're not looking the eye of the police.
Tonight's suspect is well known to the police,
Okay.
and they found drugs on him before. But this time, he's clean.
I try to recheck him every time when I see him. You know, we understand each other. Okay, ขอบคุณมาก
In Thailand, doing things you take for granted back home can get you into serious trouble. E-cigarettes and vaping are illegal. An innocent puff could put you in the slammer for up to 10 years. Lighting up is also tricky. Break the new law banning smoking on lots of beaches and you risk a $2.5 grand fine or 12 months in jail. Diss the country on social media and you could find yourself put away. But most serious of all is dealing Class A drugs, for which Thailand still has the death penalty.
Anybody that's suspicious, they will stop, they will search.
The police drove past me and they give me a good old search. I said, why are you searching me? They said, you look like you might have something on you. Obviously I had no drugs on me, because I'm in Thailand. If you're going to do drugs, do it in your own home, in England, where it's safe.
Very strict, no tolerance whatsoever. You have got to be really careful.
Back on the street, Seed's search continues, and another suspect has caught his eye. Surrounded, the man has no choice but to allow a search to go ahead. The heavy police presence is attracting attention. Volunteer David steps in to disperse the crowd.
Oi, oi, out away! Just gonna make sure people just don't stand now and start watching.
Just when it looks like he might be clean, Seed's instincts are proved correct. They uncover a wrap containing a powder which looks likely to be Class A drugs.
The suspect object is similar to the methamphetamine. This person could be a big trouble.
If it is what Seed thinks, the man could end up facing the death penalty. Coming up, a badly injured tourist is refused permission to fly.
I've had enough. I want to go home to my family. But I'm still being held up captive.
And a broken condom sees an Israeli tourist in trouble.
We tell you, give me 5,000 now.
Welcome to Soy Cowboy.
Named after the cowboy hat-wearing American who opened the first bar here in the 1970s, Soy Cowboy is one of Bangkok's infamous red light districts.
If the tourists want to come to party, inside they have to the many bar. Many times the tourists drinking too much. We come here for protect tourists. Don't worry anything, you can join with us.
A 150-metre long road filled with go-go bars and strip joints. If you've got the cash, almost anything goes in Soy Cowboy.
A lot of candy, yeah. And you can leave here with a lot of cavities, you know, a lot of cavities, yeah.
Put your problems to the side, go hit the club.
Soy Cowboy, this road here, is made for old dirty men. I'm not gonna lie, because I've just been in a bar there and it's full of them. I mean, you got loads of them down there that if you're into that, you can get involved with that. It depends what you're into. Personally, I'm into a bit of pizza.
Go hit the club. She gon' party, no bad days. Smoking white boys with no aftertaste. Getting big cheese in that rat race. Not a birthday, but like that cake.
Soy Cowboy's got such a big reputation, it featured as a location for the hit Hollywood movie The Hangover 2. For many tourists, these areas are a must-see attraction, and the tourist police are used to cleaning up the mess. In Pattaya, Officer Chat's been called to a hotel to resolve a dispute over payment for a ladyboy's, shall we say, services. First, her side of the story.
I speak. I speak. I speak.
นี่แล้วถุงยางแตกเนี่ย นี่มันแตก เนี่ย
เป็น
ดูไหมโอ้สั่ง4,000เพราะว่าถุงยางแตก หนูต้องไปหาหมอนะ จริงไหมมันแตกใส่หนู อันนี้หนูถุงยางนี่
What the problem for me? Please. What the problem for me?
Her client, though, has a different version of events.
Not the problem. I go on the set. I see this girl. After this lady boy, how much you want? I want 1,000. Okay, I give 1,000. Go. Okay? No, not go. This condom, this. Okay, how much you want? I want 5,000. Speak. Why? After speak.
How much you give now?
I give 1,003. This call this friend, lady boy. Come. We tell you. Give me 5,000 now.
Okay, relax.
What my problem?
For you, not problem. Relax.
It's a problem. Maybe kill me after the room.
Okay.
The man has already paid around £25, but the ladyboy wants another 100.
หนูไม่อะไรมากมายหนูแค่ขอแค่นี้แล้วมันบอกว่าดูตำรวจดูได้มันบอกว่านาฬิกามันหายแล้วหนูเป็นคนเอาของมันแล้วเราไม่ได้เอามันอยู่ในกระเป๋ามันนี่ไงมันใส่อยู่เนี่ยดูเลยแล้วมันที่ใส่หนูว่านาฬิกาหายหนูแจ้งความเคสด้วย
Unable to reach an agreement, eventually Officer Chat has had enough. He marches them to the police desk and settles the dispute for them. The Israeli tourist is told to pay £50, half the amount he was being asked for. And the case is closed. The Thai Tourist Police Force was established in 1991 with the aim of protecting tourists from trouble like drug dealers. On Walking Street, Officer Seed has detained a man in possession of a suspicious wrap containing what he believes to be Class A drugs.
The suspect object is similar to the methamphetamine. This person could be a big trouble. แล้วของอยู่ไหนของอยู่นั่นใช่ไหมแจ้งรถอยู่ไหน
First, Seed logs into the National Crime Database and cross-references the suspect's details in case he has previous.
I'm looking on my phone. I will check the criminal record as well as outstanding warrants.
Yet again, Seed's suspicions are proved correct.
This person has the criminal record before. About 2 months ago that has been arrested him in the same charge. Keep your eyes, huh? Keep your eyes. Okay, bye.
While they hold the man, they need to find out what the powder is. If it is Class A drugs, he could face the death penalty.
The main thing is to protect the tourists. You don't want anybody approaching tourists trying to sell them drugs. We don't want any of that whatsoever. There's no reason to take drugs. And we try hard to make sure they don't have the opportunity where they can get drugs.
The test of the suspicious wrap is underway. In under a minute, they have their result.
What we got?
Just powder. Yeah, it's nothing. Cornflour and lemongrass powder, I think
It is not a drug. It's a fake drug. I cannot arrest someone who has a fake drugs.
They believe the man's been trying to sell counterfeit drugs. That might not land him in prison, but he's not off the hook yet. In Thailand, having drugs in your system also counts as possession, and the tourist police have reason to believe he might have.
Now I need to take a urine of him.
You get caught and have got previous, if they're found with fake drugs on them, they will 100% do a drug test. But it's just constantly checking people. The more people we check, the more control we can be about it. And they totally on top of it because they're so intense about the drug scene. Very strict, so it will scare people. And that's how they want to keep it, control. And that's their, you know, it's their country. They do what they want to do.
A simple test will give Seed the proof he needs to make an arrest. He gets the man to provide a urine sample, which he drip tests before sending it to a doctor for verification.
I have to take the urine to hospital to get a confirmation.
For now, this man faces an anxious wait on the results. With over 130 million passengers passing through Thailand's airports every year, tourist troubles often occur at the beginning or end of their stay. Phuket Airport in the south of the country is a hotspot for local tourist police who deal with 16 million visitors here alone.
Hello, how are you? Welcome to Phuket.
South African Ian signed up as a police volunteer 2 years ago.
And we make sure our door is open to tourists, no matter what the case is, how big or how small.
A typical day involves lost luggage.
Excuse me, hello? Anybody's bags?
Stolen passports and tourists with expired visas.
Don't understand why Malaysian Airlines cancelled it in the first place, you know?
The passport is going to expire in 6 months. It's an administrative thing.
But for one visitor today, getting home is proving to be a massive headache.
Yeah, I'm still in Phuket. I haven't moved anywhere. They just kind of seem to have just stranded me here and kept me hostage. I'm like, wait a minute. I had a flight. I had 3 flights.
American Billy's been stranded for the last 12 hours after being refused permission to fly.
One overzealous person is all of a sudden in charge of me, my life.
5 days ago, he was involved in a serious accident on a motorbike taxi.
We were going around a corner, another scooter came and hit us. The motorcycle drivers had a helmet on, so they hit their head on the ground. Me, I put my hand in the way, and I guess I got a nice little scab too, anyways, you know. I picked myself up, they got themselves up. He didn't charge me. Needless to say, never in my wildest dreams did I believe that this was going to happen to me.
Unfortunately, Billy's motorbike experience is not uncommon for visitors to Thailand, as long-term expat Dino knows all too well.
Most people that come here get around on motorbikes. But there's a huge percentage of people that, before they come to Thailand, they've never actually ridden a bike. And so they're going to come here, start whizzing around the island. Usually they've had a drink or two. That's when problems start to happen.
With 20 million motorbikes on Thailand's roads and a speed limit of 80 kilometers per hour in town, the country is ranked second in the world for road traffic accidents and deaths. An average of 62 people lose their lives here every day. Nearly 3/4 of those involve motorbikes.
The whole thing of going on taxi bikes with no helmet on, it's just everything is just mad here.
This is how illegal Thailand is. No helmet, no helmet.
Despite it being against the law, only half of riders wear helmets.
Thailand's doing everything that it can by encouraging foreigners to wear helmets, to have some training on the bikes. Slowly getting better.
All things considered, Billy's lucky to be alive.
Always wear your helmet.
Before being grounded, Billy was scheduled to catch 3 flights on a 24-hour marathon trip back to California.
Well, when I checked in, there was a Thai Airways person. They speak Thai real well, not English too well. And yeah, that's when it all started to snowball. He said, oh, you have to get a note from your doctor. You have to go get all these tests. I said, I don't have to have a test by any doctor but my own doctor. You know, in the meantime, I'm going, my flight's going to leave any second now. I can't be doing this. I'll go home and take a shower and go to bed. I'm tired.
Given the injuries to his head, the airline wants a medical certificate saying Billy's fit to fly, which means having a CT scan to check there's no swelling on his brain.
They might fear that because of the air pressure change in the aircraft, you might suffer from an aneurysm during the flight. And the thing about an aneurysm, it's fatal. It's like having a stroke, but the actual blood vessels in your brain actually burst.
So they're worried about being sued. I'm going to sue them now, that's for damn sure. You use that term, the airline says, you know, you're using it very loosely because it was just one employee. And then once she said something, all the Thai air people right there went, oh yeah, that's a good idea, that's a good idea. And I'm like, wait a minute, no, that's not a good idea. I got to get on my airplane and go home.
For now, the only way that will happen is if Billy pays for the scan at a cost of more than £400. Without it, he's going nowhere fast.
This is the issue, is the airline is not going to pay for it. This is the problem.
Well, I don't have it either. I just spent 5 months on vacation in Phuket. I had to call my son and have him buy the ticket for me.
On your ticket, did you purchase travel insurance?
No.
You didn't purchase travel insurance?
No, I rarely do that.
Yeah, but now the CT scan is going to cost you.
If they can go ahead and require you to have a test, well, then they can pay for it. Don't you agree?
Billy, I think now you have no choice.
Coming up, a tourist claims he's been attacked,
I had a punch in the face.
but can't remember where.
Do you not remember the club? We can't just go walking every bar, mate.
And Billy's holiday troubles go from bad to worse.
This case has just changed. This is going to be one of the most expensive holidays he's ever taken.
It's been a long evening. He wants to go home.
In Pattaya, the tourist police have detained a man caught in possession of fake drugs, which they believe he's been trying to sell to unsuspecting tourists. Officer Seed has ordered a urine test to check whether the man has any narcotics in his system. A crime punishable by imprisonment.
To waiting for hospital to confirm the drug that he takes is a real drug or not. If it tests, the result is positive, okay, we have to arrest him and take him to police station.
If you get caught and you have to have a urine sample and it comes back positive that you've got drugs inside you, they will charge you. The police have no tolerance whatsoever with it. Very, very strict with it. There's no getting out of jail.
It's not long before a police cadet returns from the hospital with confirmation of the results.
Positive. Yeah. The hospital have confirmed that this guy takes methamphetamines, so we have to arrest him.
The suspect may have been carrying fake drugs, but there's no hiding the fact that what he's taken is real. It's punishable by up to 5 years in prison and a fine of 100,000 baht. 3 weeks later, after appearing in court, the man was sentenced to 12 months drug rehabilitation in a Thai prison. Back at Phuket Airport, badly injured Billy is still grounded.
Get me home.
Billy, that is our priority, is to get you home.
That is my priority,
Yeah.
believe it or not. Well, I'm not okay here.
I know.
I'm not okay here.
His airline has insisted on a medical certificate and a costly CT scan before he can board a plane back to California.
My head hurts like you would not believe.
They said we can x-ray, but even if the x-ray proves negative, they still can't conclusively say that there's nothing wrong with the inside of your skull. So this is why they need to do the CT scan.
Billy's in a bind. He can't afford the medical fees, but the longer he stays, the more costly his time in Thailand becomes.
Did anybody take a copy of your passport yet?
No.
Have you got your passport with you?
Yeah.
Let's grab a copy of that quickly.
Okay.
You might want to check when his visa is going to expire as well.
Expired.
Expired? That's going to be an issue with immigration. When did it expire?
3 days.
3 days overstay.
Yes.
This case has just changed because immigration is going to hit him for overstay.
Yes.
500 baht a day. This is going to be one of the most expensive holidays he's ever taken.
With fines increasing by the day and a potential hospital bill of over £400, Billy's money troubles are spiralling out of control. Time to call on the American Embassy.
Hi, my name's Ian. I'm a volunteer with the tourist police. He's stuck at Phuket Airport without the certificate and with no funding to actually do a CT scan at all. The airline had noticed he had a head injury last night and they wouldn't let him board the aircraft. He's not under arrest and he's not being detained. Okay, do you have any suggestion from your side how we can assist him? All right, I'll explain it to Billy at this time. All right, thank you very much for your help, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye. Basically, there is nothing the embassy can do except contact your family, and they will only do that during office hours, which means if you want to do that, you have to wait till Monday. And they've researched the Fit to Fly certificate law. He says it's legit. There's going to be no escaping it. The airline will not let you board any flights unless you have the Fit to Fly certificate.
For how long?
As long as your face looks like it does.
Well, I won't have the money until next month. Can I sign an IOU or something?
We're back to square one.
Do you think there's anything wrong with me?
Yes.
There's a point where somebody has to say enough is enough. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I've actually hit that point.
It's 2 a.m. on Walking Street.
Anyway, go on, go to your bike. No.
On duty, volunteer officer David John Smith. On a hot summer's night out on the town, the tourist forecast is looking very merry, with a chance of worse for wear.
Get that time of night now where obviously people have been drinking too much and they just get tempers are getting short, but we're getting these little incidents now and we're just trying to keep on top of them.
Just 10 minutes in, a Polish drinker is looking for justice.
But I will not lick a punch in the face without no
Motivation.
No.
The man's night out has ended in a disagreement with a bouncer.
I want a reaction.
I know, yeah. Ma'am! He pays his bill. As he's leaving, the doorman stopped him. So you have to pay another 75 baht. And he says not pay, and the guy punched him in the face. The security guy. At Windmill. We're going to talk to him. We're going to come back, yeah?
Despite giving the name of a bar where he thinks he was drinking, Now they've got there.
What? Are you sure this is windmill there, yeah? Windmill, go, yeah? Where is it then? You said windmill, yeah? You said windmill. Was it a Russian bar or was it Thai bar? Thai, okay.
You cannot remember the place.
I think this was here.
You know,
we can't just go walking every bar, mate.
Yeah, we cannot go every bar.
We need to know which one it is, my friend. Yeah.
Give me 20 minutes.
I'll find it.
Okay, yeah. So, the guy can't remember which bar it was in that he got assaulted. So he said, give me 20 minutes and I will find it.
Sure enough, 20 minutes later...
He's found it! He finds this bar.
Not surprisingly, the bar owner's recollection of events is somewhat different.
They say that they never punch you, they just push you away from the bar to get you out of the club.
Why did he do this?
He wanted you to leave. He said you were causing a nuisance at the bar and he wanted you to leave. You paid your bill.
Bullshit. I know what happened. I know that I had a punch in the face.
Right, it's two options. Do you want to get down to the police station and make a complaint? Or do you want us to put a report on it? What do you want to happen?
I just want apology.
Is that it?
It will be enough.
All he wants is an apology and that's enough.
Apologise.
Yeah. He says sorry to him at the end of the day.
But it looks as if the bar owner's having none of it. Then, begrudgingly, an olive branch. That's it, lads. Hug it out.
Normally we would take that down to the police station. We were quite happy for them to basically shake hands and make friends.
Before you know it, it's like they've been best mates forever.
They're both quite happy, they both walked away. So that basically closed the case.
I've had enough. I want to go home to my family.
I understand.
I have a wife, I have sons, but I'm still being held up captive.
All right, okay.
After 24 hours stuck at Phuket Airport, badly injured Billy is no nearer to going home.
Or the American Embassy can pick it up. I don't have it.
Embassy's not going to pay for the scan.
Well,
Embassy has no reason to.
You don't try to understand anything.
You got a Visa card, right?
I have a Visa card.
Get him to the hospital, charge it on his Visa. So we get you to the hospital, you go do the fit to fly certificate, we charge it to your Visa card, and from there we book you a new ticket to go home. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, no, but I do it because I don't have any recourse.
All right. Okay, that's good. You go
Yeah,
to the
I
hotel.
want to go home.
Finally, Billy agrees to pay the cost on his credit card, a decision he could have made hours ago.
I told them I would pay them, but I can't. I cannot give it.
You're emotional, you're tired, you're feeling like crap. I understand.
It's absurd.
While he takes time out to cool off, Officer Arno takes advantage of the calm and calls the hospital to book in the CT scan with Billy's credit card.
มันมีcredit card. You cannot use credit cards.
The credit card failed.
แล้วก็นี่ครับ His credit card is full.
What then?
After this, No idea. Let me think.
We've got to think another. Jeez, we're running out of options though. I mean, do we have to start crowdfunding for this guy? Go onto the internet and say, please help Billy, let's get him home, you know?
Coming up, an Aussie partygoer who's had more than enough for one night.
Sir, do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Isn't in the mood for help.
Look at me. We are police. You cannot speak like this. You cannot speak.
And Billy gets more bad news.
The doctors have said that they are going to ground him for 2 weeks because they have found that his brain has got a swelling.
I'd rather have an aneurysm and die on the plane than have to go through this again.
Soy Bangla in Phuket. By day, a quiet, sleepy neighbourhood, home to snack bars and tourist shops serving sun worshippers recovering from the night before. Like them, this place really comes alive after dark. This is Walking Street. 400 metres of cheek by jowl bars, clubs and strip joints. Tonight, Officer Witcheye and his team are on patrol. 5 hours into the late shift, they've already dealt with their usual mix of drunk tourists.
Where are you from? What is your nationality?
And lost partygoers.
Right now, 3 a.m. From my experience, if normally this time 3 a.m. is the time that tourists they're already drunk.
Whatever's thrown at them, they'll try to find a solution that helps the tourist in trouble.
We're all family.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So I think now it's quiet. I think it's nothing gonna happen.
Just when they think it's all over, they stumble across a tourist crashed out at the side of the street.
Sir, do you hear me? Do you hear me? Sir, open your eyes. There is police speaking. Sir, can you open your eyes, please? Can you open your eyes?
The man's been passed out in front of the club for over an hour. And despite repeated attempts to revive him, he hasn't responded.
Where are you from? Where are you from? Australia. Okay. Okay, can you stand up? Stand up, please.
The man might remember where he's from, but he hasn't a clue where he is.
When we go there were 2 officers from the local police, but they need some officer who can communicate with them. Of course, the guy is from Australia, so they need some people who can communicate with him, especially speak English. So that's why they call tourist police.
I am police. I am police. Look at me. Look at me. I am police.
Despite the offer of a helping hand, he's not exactly in a receptive mood.
You are talking with the police. You cannot speak like this, sir. Look at me. We are police. You cannot speak like this. You cannot speak.
Eventually, they've had enough.
Now we have to stand up, okay? We are assisting you to the taxi, okay?
Now the priority is to get the man back to his hotel before he does himself or anyone else any more damage.
Relax. Take it easy.
Fall him down. He cannot walk. I know, but not too fast.
After a 200-metre stagger along Walking Street, Officer Witcheye has a cab ready to take him home.
Okay, are you okay, sir, now? Okay. For today, the party finished.
Yeah. Yes. Do you have room key with you?
Yeah.
Where? Show me your room key. Where's your room key?
Hang on. Okay.
With no room key, it'll be up to the hotel to put him to bed where he can sleep off the worst of his night out in Soy Bangla.
I already talked to the taxi that make sure that he bring him to the hotel, make sure he's safe, go back to the hotel. It's happened like this sometimes, well, in Bangla, because people are come here for fun, for drink.
At Phuket Airport, motorbike crash victim Billy is sleeping off his rough night on the sofa. 24 hours after being prevented from flying home due to head injuries, Officer Arnaud and volunteer Ian have found a solution to his medical certificate nightmare.
After his credit card failed yesterday, we got him down to the Patong police station and we found the report of the accident that he was involved in. So we got him down to the hospital. He then underwent the CT scan. Now, the doctors have said that they are going to ground him for 2 weeks because they have found that his brain has got a swelling which may even burst the blood vessels in his brain, causing either an aneurysm or an embolism. At worst case scenario, basically kill him. Knowing that you've possibly saved his life and you may have actually saved a family from suffering, it's one of the best feelings in the world.
Faced with another fortnight of recuperation, Billy's family wired the money to cover his holiday extension. Not that he was looking forward to it.
All right, Billy, we are going to leave you. If you have any issues, give me a call, and then I'll try and get you sorted out. Take care, my friend. Cheers.
Thanks again. Thank you for all your help.
All right. Cheers, bud. I'm very relieved at this point that he's okay. He's stable. He's now going to relax and calm down and just chill out for the rest of the week now. As you can see, he hit the bed immediately. You can see he's tired. And now we're going to leave him for the rest of the week, let him take care of himself. Wait for the recommendation from the hospital to get his fit to fly certificate.
I'd rather have an aneurysm and die on the plane than have to go through this again. I know that sounds a little rash, but that's how I felt this morning. Just put me on the plane and polish me off, because I've had enough of this. They want me to stay here for 2 weeks. But I'm going to stay here for a week, and then we're going to check and see if we can get a scan again. And leave a little early. I got to go home.
10 days later, Billy finally got the doctors and the airlines all clear to board his flight home. Next time, the tourist police declare a state of emergency.
We've put measures in place. I hope they're not used.
As the most powerful storm in decades hits a major tourist centre.
Have you got a plan of action if it gets bad?
Run. Run for the mountains.
A holiday maker's month in the sun is over before it started.
My wallet just lost. And all the money lost. I think it just was robbery.
And snakes on a crane. A python up a pylon, prompt panic.